Fluid coding and AI. A free Llama 3.3 70B route sounds like an easy win for coding, but our benchmark run landed at 31.31% overall. The useful question is not whether Llama is bad, it is what this free OpenRouter route actually did under a real task harness. This is a developer question, not a leaderboard question. If you point tooling at the free OpenRouter route for meta-llama 3.3 70B instruct, can you trust it for practical coding work? By the end, the answer should be clear: what the benchmark measured, where the route struggled, and what kind of use still makes sense. On paper, this is not a random small model. Meta describes Llama 3.3 70B instruct as a 70 billion parameter, text-only, instruction-tuned, multilingual model. The model card lists a 180K context length, code as part of the output format, and strong meta-reported coding results: 88.4 pass at 1 on Human Eval and 87.6 pass at 1 on MBPP Eval+. OpenRouter adds another layer. The route is listed as meta-llama 3.3 70B instruct free, with zero pricing in the model's API and a 131K context length in the public model metadata. But free routes also carry limits: 20 requests per minute, daily caps on free model use, and possible provider rate limiting during peak times. There was also a current endpoint caveat in the research. The model metadata reported 131,072 context tokens, while the public endpoint's response showed a listed Venice FP8 endpoint with 65,536 context tokens. That does not prove what happened during the benchmark. It does show why a hosted route is more than a model slug. The benchmark run used provider OpenRouter and the model route meta-llama, Llama 3.3 70B, instruct free. It completed on June 18, 2026, and handled 93 cases. The copied report does not include full inputs, completions, retry traces, or the final serving provider, so the honest scope is one first-party run through one free hosted route. The headline result was 680 points out of 2,172, or 31.31% overall. Coding contributed all of the score, 680 out of 2,100 across 21 coding cases. Every other category scored 0 out of 12: data interpretation, planning operations, quantitative reasoning, safety policy, source research, and writing editing. The coding section is important because it was not pure zero. Easy coding cases scored between 35 and 55 out of 100. Medium cases scored between 20 and 55. Hard cases were all 15 out of 100, and very hard cases ranged from 15 to 45. But every listed coding case still had failed status. That pattern matters for developer workflows. A model can produce plausible code, earn partial evaluator credit, and still miss the exact behavior, edge cases, file structure, or integration details the task requires. The non-coding failures were even sharper. All 72 cases outside coding scored 0, with summaries like wrong choice, unmatched accepted value, or list mismatch. This is where the fairness line matters. Meta's Human Eval and MBPP Eval Plus numbers are different benchmark families from this local task suite. They likely use different inputs, harnesses, grading rules, and serving conditions. A Human Eval score does not tell you whether a hosted free route will complete a job queue, billing ledger, auth policy, webhook receiver, or migration task under your evaluator. The practical read is simple. Free inference is valuable for exploration, quick prototypes, and low-risk experiments. It is not enough evidence for unattended coding automation. If the task matters, benchmark your own workflow, record the exact route, watch rate limits and failed attempts, and consider a paid, pinned, or higher throughput endpoint before trusting the result. My verdict: treat the free OpenRouter Llama 3.3 70B route as a cheap sandbox, not a production coding dependency. The model name is only one part of the system. Provider route, endpoint behavior, quotas, quantization, context inputs, and evaluators all shape the result you actually get. If this helped you read benchmark results with a little more skepticism, like the video and subscribe to Fluid Coding and AI. The next time a free model route looks too good to ignore, bring the benchmark with you.